Today on Tracey's Basement, Dorbz! Everybody, what's up with you guys today? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you've never been here before, of course. Today I have a little mini haul for you, but guess what? It is not Funko Pops. Gasp, I know, right? So I recently picked up a couple of Dorbz, and I thought I'd share them with you guys today. I don't really actively collect Dorbz, but I've gotten a few here and there, mostly in subscription boxes. And there are a few that I think are really cute, and I happened to come across some of them not that long ago, so I picked them up. I have no intention really of, collecting them on a scale that I have with the Funko Pops, but there are some of them that I think are really, really well done and cute, and so I will pick them up here and there. This time I've got 4 for you. I picked them all up at the same store, and the first thing I want to do before I get right into it is I want to give some love to this particular store because it just opened. I know I have some subscribers who are in the Nova Scotia area, so if you are near New Glasgow, as you're entering Stellarton, there is a brand new cards and collectibles shop called Fly By Night, with Night being like a knight in shining armor. And it only just recently opened. By the time you're watching this video, it may have been open for 2 months. So it's brand new. There's not too much in there yet because it is hard to start up these kind of shops, but that is where I found all 4 of the Dorbz that I'm going to show you today. So I just wanted to give some love to that store, and if you are in the area, be sure to take a stop out there and check it out. It's so hard to keep shops like that open in Nova Scotia, so definitely give some love to that store. Go by, check it out. You might find something. You never know. So of the 4 Dorbz I have to show to you today, 3 of them are actually from the horror line. And I've heard a lot of hate, actually, for the horror line of Dorbz, mainly because they're so cutesy, they're super happy looking, they have the little anime, cutesy happy eyes, big smiles on their faces, and lots of people don't like that. I personally think that's adorable. I'm really into cutesy stuff that's not normally meant to be cute. Just for some reason that appeals to me. So I actually think the little horror Dorbz are sweet, and I love them. So we found 3 of them in this particular store. I picked up all 3. There are only actually 4. So I'm this close to finishing that line in one fell swoop. Hopefully I'll find the 4th one at some point. But for now, let's just check out these 3, shall we? So the first one I've got is the number 58 Freddy Krueger, one of the biggest horror icons of all time. I am a fan of horror movies in general, but I do really like the slasher genre, and amongst the slasher genre, Freddy, definitely one of my favorite characters of all time. He's just so unique, and they can be so creative with the kills and whatnot because he is in the Dreamland. So I really like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. They're just so much fun in that morbid kind of way, waiting to see all the different kind of ways that he's going to be killing people. So I love Freddy. Let's check out his Dorbz, shall we? So here's the little guy here, and the first thing that I will take note of is they did a really great job on his face. You can see there's just a lot of burn marks, and they're kind of raised like scars. I don't know if you can really tell from the video, but they molded it rather than just painting it on there. And they did a much better job on the Dorbz than the Pop. If you can see the Pop isn't bad either, but there's only a few little bigger marks. Mostly it's just wrinkly, basically, on the Pop. Whereas on the Dorbz, they have all these great marks everywhere, and they're really in there. It's not just a half-decent paint job. They actually molded the face to look that way, so it's really well done all the way around the back and everything. Very good, because that is, of course, a very distinguishing feature of Freddy, so I really appreciate that a lot. The mold on the hat is very nice as well. Very nicely shaped. They got the brim kind of coming down over his forehead a little bit. Very good there. Nice paint job. And the body. Paint job is pretty much immaculate. I actually haven't seen too many Dorbz where the paint job wasn't pretty much perfect. That's one thing I've noticed about the Dorbz. They seem to take very good care on the paint job, which is good because the bodies are all basically identical. They sometimes have little add-ons, but the shape of the body is identical for pretty much every Dorbz, so it's really nice that they take the time to make sure that the paint job is very well done. And his paint job is very well done. They have, obviously, his green and red striped sweater, but they have a lot of little jagged, around his wrists and waist, where you can see the sweater is old and raggedy and ripped. His pants are basically plain pants. You can't say too much about those. But he does have the marks on his hand as well, burn marks. And, of course, the most important part, his little claw hand. That's very well done. It's a separate little piece that is glued onto his hand, and I don't know how much you guys can tell from the video, but it is actually highly detailed. You can see the little rivets in there. Each blade finger is separate and distinguishable, and he's even kind of holding the blades together, as he would in the movie. They're not just splayed out, like would be the easy way to do it. They've actually kind of made his hand so that the fingers are coming together the way they naturally would fall. So it's actually a lot of detail in a little figure like this, a little cutesy figure. And I really appreciate it. It's very well done, actually. Some people don't really like the Dorbz. They're small and they're cutesy and they're almost the same price as a Pop. But they are actually very well done. This is a very well done little figure. There's no way in hell that you would ever mistake who the character is. Great paint job. Love the little claw. This is awesome. Moving on, we've got another character who couldn't possibly be mistaken for anybody else. It is the Cenobite, number 59, Pinhead. Fun fact, long before I had ever actually seen a Hellraiser movie, they used to have the original movie on a shelf in my local rental shop, and just looking at Pinhead on the front of that VHS cover freaked me out. I knew nothing about the movie, but I used to imagine that there would be a scene in the movie with somebody sitting in a chair and somebody behind him banging nails into his head. And obviously that scene does not exist, but that's pretty much what I imagined every time I saw that movie for years and years and years and years until I finally actually saw the movie. And yeah, he played in my nightmares for quite a while. And now to completely shatter that nightmare image, here is the cutest little Pinhead that you ever did see. He's just absolutely adorable. In a sick kind of way. So first of all, they did a great job on his head. Not only covered in pins, but of course he's got all the little cross lines that intersect all the pins. The pins are a little bit shorter than they are on the Pop, but not a big deal. Because he's such a small little figure, I imagine they didn't want the pins coming out too far. The real showstopper, however, is the body. Look at the body. There is so much detail in that paint job. They have every line on his outfit. They have the little blades hanging from his belt, and the little blades have teeth, little tiny teeth on them. They have the wire cord thing that goes through his stomach. Pretty disgusting for something so cute, but there you go. They have the strange little open wound parts on his chest. They got every detail in there, and that's pretty amazing because, again, like with the Freddy one, this is a tiny little figure, but they crammed a lot of detail into it. It's really quite amazing. I think it's awesome. There is a similar amount of detail on the Pop, but I find this a lot cleaner, whereas, this is actually molded and this is painted, but I do find the Dorbz to be a lot cleaner and crisper. You can really see all the details. It's pretty amazing. I like it a lot. And we have a third huge horror icon, one of the creepiest characters of all time, not in small part because he is based on a real-life killer. It is the number 60 Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, of course. So obviously a big part of this Dorbz is the mask, and they did a really amazing job on the mask. You can see it's actually a layer above the face. Again, it's not painted on. It's actually a layer up and above the face, so it does actually look like a mask. And it's got all these cracks, a little bloody spot there, shadows painted in where the leathery face would be cracking and shifting, and all the stitches all the way around his head. That's just amazing. Again, for such a small figure, that's amazing amount of detail. They have his messy brown hair, of course, nothing too much to say about that. Excellent paint job again on the body. You've got the apron spattered with blood, the sharp contrast of a white shirt and tie underneath. Very creepy. And the awesome bit, the little teeny tiny chainsaw. My husband thinks I'm nuts for calling that cute. But come on, how cute is that teeny tiny little chainsaw? It's got the little teeny tiny teeth on the blade, and it's just kind of jammed into his hand, so he's holding it there. I think it's freaking adorable. Maybe I'm sick, but I find it's freaking adorable. And this particular Dorbz, I find, is very different, actually, to the Pop. Coloring is different. Just, it looks very different. But is still obviously very clearly the character. There's no mistaking that at all. I can't decide which one I like better, actually. Obviously, this one looks a little more realistic. He's got the creepy half-open eyes, snarl look on his face. But I love the mask on this one. I think it's really cute. Maybe that's a bad thing. I'm nuts. Never mind. So as you can see on the box here, the only one I'm missing now is Jason Voorhees, so I'll have to try to hunt him down so I can finish the little collection. And a little side note on that, I just thought I'd mention because I find it funny. Back a while ago, probably more than a decade, I was pretty into webcomics, and I tried my hand a couple times at making my own. One of those attempts was a little cut-and-paste comic called Little Freddy vs. Mini Jason. And Leatherface wasn't in the comic, but Pinhead was, and Michael Myers, and Freddy and Jason, of course. And they were these just cute little chibi cutesy versions of those four characters. Freddy was super profane, Pinhead was kind of an emo, Jason and Michael couldn't talk, so they expressed themselves through violence. And these Dorbz just remind me a lot of that comic because they were these tiny little cute, big-headed, silly, cutesy versions of the horror icons. I just thought I'd mention that because, it never went anywhere, but it was something that I did a while back, and looking at these Dorbz now really reminds me of that comic. I find it really funny. They're so similar in concept to what the comic was like. So I just thought I'd mention that. And the final Dorbz I have for you today is from the Ghostbusters line, and I was super excited to find this because it is the first Chase that I've ever found in the wild. It's the number 67 Chase version of Ray Stantz with the marshmallow fluff all over. And I was just super excited to find this because I have never seen a Chase in the wild before. We had actually gone out on this day hoping to find a Chase Alien, the Pop that had recently come out. Didn't find that, but we happened across this, and I was just super excited. First wild Chase ever. Yay! So, just like with the horror figures, there is a ton of detail crammed into this little figure. He's got the super spiky hair that's being pushed up by the goggles. The goggles have an amazing little mold. They're totally cute. And if you turn around to the back, you can see there's some hair actually hanging over the strap, which is just a nice little touch because that's the way it goes. His outfit is absolutely perfect. He's got all the little pockets and folds, the collar coming down. The Ghostbuster symbol is on his arm. I don't know if you guys can really see that because it's tiny, but it's perfect. It's like immaculate. You've got all the little buttons on his belt. You've got this piece of equipment hanging on his belt. Just absolutely perfect, amazing paint job. And of course, the really cool bits, he's got his proton pack on his back. Not a whole lot of color or anything, but an immense amount of physical detail. It's a very nice mold of it. You can see all the wires and tubes and everything. And he's holding a ghost trap, of course, which is awesome. Again, not a lot of color, but physically it's well shaped. You can see the doors on the top and everything. And the part that makes him a chase, he's covered in marshmallow fluff all over the place. Pretty awesome. I like him a lot. And he's got his little name tag there. Stance, if you can see that. And I've actually got the San Diego Comic-Con marshmallow fluffed Ghostbusters as well, so there's a comparison. Pretty similar. He's not holding a radio in the Dorbz, and the proton pack is a hell of a lot more detailed in the Pop, but obviously it's a lot bigger as well, so much easier to do. The goggles are a different color. I'm just noticing that now. I can't think off the top of my head what color they are in the movie, so I'm going to have to check and see which one is more accurate. But still, they're pretty similar. This is adorable. I love it. I'm glad I picked it up. And I'm so excited this is my first wild chase. Too cool. Awesome. So there you have it, guys. 4 Dorbz for you today. 3 of them characters who really have no business being so cute, but I love them. I think they're awesome. Let me know what you guys thought about that little haul in the comment section below. What do you guys think of Dorbz? What do you think of the Horror Dorbz? Do the happy faces bother you like they do so many people? I personally think it's cute, but I'm a little bit nuts, so there's that too. So as always, if you've enjoyed the video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, comment down below because I love to hear from you guys, and be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The links for those are in the description box as well as at the end of this video, and of course, as always, keep coming back for more of Tracey's Basement. Bye! And this is the part where you guys can give me some love if you liked the video and you want to watch some more. Here are some of the more recent ones, and if you enjoyed the channel, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe right below. Please keep coming back for more videos. Bye!